Native News Today.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Native News Today for this week. Jason Salzman here alongside Gerald Wofford, and we're ready to get it started with some great Native American stories happening out there, traveling around in Indian country a bit with Gerald Wofford here. But Gerald, great week this past week. A little bit of a, I guess you could say a little bit of a downer at the beginning of the week because it was tough for all of us OU Sooners out there that lost to Texas. But we're making the turnaround, you know what I mean? It's no big deal.
That's right. In true Native American spirit, Jason, we are adapting and we are moving forward, never looking behind, always going ahead. So a lot of great things, and as Jason mentioned, a lot of great stories here this afternoon on the Native News Today. We went all over the place, didn't we?
Yeah, and we also stayed pretty close to home on a couple, actually, and one of the first ones we'll show you today is from an event that's going on. Actually, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, so Sean Partridge and her department over there at the Muskogee Creek Nation, the family department, looking out for the domestic violence and things like that. That's really what they devote a lot of time to. They had a luncheon over at the Methodist Church here in Okmulgee, so we went over there and checked that out, but also some awareness as well with breast cancer, fighting breast cancer and making sure that we do that, and you guys were able to travel over to the Pink Party.
Yeah, this is their 6th year having this event, and it's to, of course, bring awareness to breast cancer and to educate specifically Native American women and this health problem.
Yeah, and we'll continue showing you bits and pieces from the Constitutional Convention Committee at the Muskogee Creek Nation. That's coming up in November. And the Cherokee Youth Choir actually inducted into the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, as well as a noted artist from up in Montana.
Yeah, Chandler Goodstrike was at the Cherokee Art Market last week. Very unique art that he creates on buffalo hide. The tribe there, the Sioux tribe that he's with, tells the stories there on the buffalo hide, and as well as elk and deer. So it's very unique what he creates.
Yeah, all that and more coming up on this week's episode of Native News Today. Don't you go anywhere. We'll have that coming up right after this first break. Hi, I'm Jason Salzman, and we're very proud of our program here at Native News Today. But what you may not know, it's just a small part of a fully functioning multimedia center, the Muskogee Creek Nation Communications Department. The Communications Department is involved in every aspect of media, whether it be print with the Muskogee Nation News, the official publication of the Muskogee Creek Nation, as well as graphic design. The graphic design department here can offer everything from event invitations to banners to even calendars and desk decals. It's all involved here, as well as photography, a professional grade studio where Muskogee Creek citizens can receive discount rates for things such as senior pictures and family portraits. So for all of your multimedia needs, please don't hesitate to come down to the Muskogee Creek Nation Communications Department, located in Okmulgee at the Capitol Complex, or you can reach us by phone at 918-732-7720. Let us help you get your name out there.
And welcome back to Native News Today. Jason Salzman with Gerald Wofford. And Jason, as you mentioned at the top of the program, so many events happening in October. One event that is being noted is the Family Domestic Violence Month, and here in the Creek Nation, they certainly took aware of that last week.
Yes, they did, Gerald, and like you said, it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month here in the month of October, and Sean Partridge over at Children and Family Services and her department there, they do a wonderful job of making sure that there are events, there are reminders, and really awareness is the key word there, because she wants to get the word out there that this is something that is plaguing our people. We have a high number as far as our race goes, as far as the national statistics. So that is one thing that they're looking at and wanting to make sure that we make these occurrences as minimal as possible. So with things like the luncheon this past week held at the United Methodist Church here in Okmulgee, those goals are becoming a reality. I am joined right now with the case manager for the Muskogee Creek Nation Family and Violence Prevention Program, Ms. Shawn Partridge. And Shawn, this is a very special day here. We have the luncheon going on, but more importantly, this is a very special month. Tell us a little bit about the month of October.
Yes, it is. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We are here. We've partnered with the Okmulgee County Safe House. We work so closely with them. We've invited all different types of people from the community, within the tribe, a lot of folks, programs that we work with on a daily basis to help meet the needs of our clients, women and children who have been in abusive relationships, who are looking for help. And so we're here to help in any way that we can, ensure their safety, and all the people that you see here today are people that help us meet their needs. So we're really excited, to be partnering with the Safe House. We've had an awesome turnout, so it's just been great.
Yeah, Shawn, now talk about just the epidemic, really, of domestic violence and what happens as far as what kind of numbers are we seeing within the Muskogee Creek Nation? Is it an alarming problem that we need to really address?
Well, and that's the thing. There's little research and statistics regarding domestic violence among American Indians, and a lot of those, studies and things that we're seeing don't necessarily, apply to Oklahoma tribes and Oklahoma people. So that's something hopefully that will change. But yeah, in American Indians overall, we have the highest rates of violence. So yes, we really want to try to get our program out there so that people know that we're here. This is something, unfortunately, that people, like to try to keep hidden. It's one of those taboo subjects, but we know this is going on in our communities, and so we want to let people know that this is something we have to talk about, we have to address. Again, the proclamation that Chief Ellis did, the strength of our nation relies on the safety of our people, the health and wellness of our people, peaceful homes. So it's really important. Again, we're here, we're really trying to get out there, let people know we're here to help in any way that we can, to be a support to women, who are facing these types of issues. And again, I say women because that is predominantly who are the victims of these crimes. However, there are men as well, and we assist men as well in our program. But again, the numbers are overwhelmingly women. So.
Well, it's a wonderful thing that you guys are doing here in your program, and from the time that I've known you and that we've worked together, just a wonderful job by your program doing things like this and making sure that it's out there in the open. And that's the main thing, what you said, is that we talk about it and we make sure that we realize that this is an issue. That's the only way we can resolve it. So, Shawn, you guys keep up the great work, and we're so glad to be here and be in support of a month of awareness for something that we really need to get rid of. So thanks a lot, Shawn.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys so much.
All right, I'm here with Sunshine Gross, and she's going to tell us a little bit about this silent witness display that we have around us here. Sunshine, tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here behind us.
The silent witness display is a national initiative. Each one represents a person that was killed due to domestic violence in Oklahoma. We have 100 active, 200 total. We have 100 that are retired also. Each one tells the story of the victim. It starts with men, women, children, babies, infants, toddlers, all in Oklahoma.
So you go through and look at all of this and read some of the stories on here. It's really, really puts it out there to know that this is real, this is happening, people are dying. What is it that your coalition and your program is doing to make sure that people are aware of this? Is it just getting out there and making the information known?
We're very big proponents of community awareness events. We try to help pass legislation. We do trainings, technical support for the coalition members throughout the state. Anybody that calls us will come help.
This past week in Okmulgee, we had a chance to take part in a special event that happens every year here at the Muskogee Creek Nation. It is the annual Pink Party in awareness of breast cancer and what we can do to try and get rid of this disease that's killing a lot of our women, and more and more every day. So one of the things that we want to do is make sure that we get the word out there and we fight this disease, and make sure we let it know that it's not going to get us down, and everybody out there that has been diagnosed or has beat it has a great attitude because of things like the Pink Party that get them feeling that it isn't a death sentence just because you get this, right, Gerald?
Well, it is a national health problem, and unfortunately it does affect Native American women even more. And this Pink Party was to help to bring awareness to it, as well as educate the Native American women in this area about this health problem. We were able to catch with Deborah Isham and talk about this, and meet her there at the party. I'm speaking here with Ms. Deborah Isham with the Muskogee Creek Nation Health Administration here in Okmulgee. Deborah, tell us the reason that we're here this afternoon.
We're here for the 6th annual Pink Party. It's a breast cancer awareness event that we've had for 6 years. It's gotten bigger and bigger, and what we want to do is allow women to learn what they can to prevent breast cancer.
Well, we know that this is a subject and a health problem that affects Americans all over, but speaking specifically of Native American women, how is this such a health problem for Native American women, especially above the age of 40?
Generally, American Indian women, they find their breast cancer is found later stages, and so they may be less likely to survive, or they have more problems. So it's not found as earlier in as in some other women.
How does an event like this help educate the public about this health problem?
I think anytime we see something on national TV or anything in a medium that we see, and it teaches us how to take care of our health, it puts it in our mind that, you know, maybe we do need that checkup this year, or I didn't have that checkup last year, so maybe we can take care of those exams now. And it also encourages women to tell others, you know, their family members and friends they know have concerns, that may encourage them, hey, you need to go ahead and go get that checked out.
Well, this is certainly a unique name that you have here, and people have certainly come to associate it with what it's about, the breast cancer awareness and education. Pink Party. Tell us a little the history of the name and just about the event today.
The women at the Okmulgee Clinic started this in 2003, and they nicknamed it Pink Party, and it started out as a bit of a party in our clinic waiting room, and it's grown from that. Pink is associated with breast cancer awareness, and it is a bit of a party because it's an educational event, but also there's a chance for refreshments and people to visit with others and fellowship. I think a lot of our Indian women like to visit, and so we think of it as a party that way as well.
Well, certainly as we look around the room here, it's rather festive in a way, with the predominant color, of course, being pink. You have an agenda planned this afternoon here for everyone coming out. Tell us what's going to take place.
We have a very, very special guest speaker. Wilma Mankiller, former chief of the Cherokee Nation, is going to be our keynote speaker. She's also a breast cancer survivor herself, and we also have Scotty Nelson will be playing the flute, and we have door prizes and other items on the agenda.
Now, for those out there watching that unfortunately may not be able to come this afternoon but want to find out more and everything about this and how they can get checked up, what would you suggest to them?
I would suggest them to call their clinic provider. Any clinic that you go to, see your regular provider and ask them if you're at risk or at the age where you need to get a mammogram, and find out what you can do to do clinical self-breast examination, which is what you do yourself, and to get a checkup from your provider. And then if your provider thinks you need a mammogram, then they can refer you for that. But the first step is to see your provider.
Can you give your number here at the clinic in case they are in the area and they want to call here directly?
The Okmulgee Clinic number is 918-758-2717.
It's Deborah Isham with the Muskogee Creek Nation Health Administration here in Okmulgee. Deborah, wado.
Thank you.
For the Pink Party, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we have this every year, presented by the Creek Nation. Terry Garner is the one that's usually in charge of it. She's our nurse practitioner at the Okmulgee Indian Health Center, and we're very proud of her. She does a great job. Every year it just gets bigger and bigger.
Well, now you have a lot of people signing up and registering here. What all are they signing up for?
The white sheets are for the registration. That'll be for door prizes that they'll give out at the end of the program. And then the pink copy that's here will be so after the program they can receive a pink t-shirt like I have on today.
Well, this is the 6th year for it, so I take it every year it continues to grow and more people become educated about this, right?
Yes, it does. It's great. We have a special table for the breast cancer survivors, and they received, this year they all received a blanket, and then of course their t-shirts also. And they had a nice dinner for them on Saturday, I believe it was. So they...
Do we have one of those blankets?
Recognition.
Do we have one of those blankets that we could show?
I believe she has one over here at this table.
Could we, yeah, could you? We're going to get that design right there.
And next up, we will take a look at the progress going on with the Constitutional Convention Committee meetings here at the Muskogee Creek Nation. For all of you out there that don't know, I'll give you a little lesson here. Passed in legislation about, I don't want to date it, I don't know how long ago it was, but the Creek Nation's changing its constitution, basically. It's giving citizens the ability to come to Constitutional Convention and submit amendments, and they will be looked at and voted on by the people. And a Constitutional Convention committee was set up to make sure that this is ran properly under the guidelines that's set forth in the Muskogee Constitution currently. And Judge Moore is the chair of that committee, and he sits on that committee and makes sure that these meetings are ran accordingly. And all of these members were picked from the respective communities represented there. So the Constitutional Convention Committee meetings are taking place. They have a convention plan in process, and we'll just give you a look at things that are going on there at the Mound Building.
At tonight's Constitutional Convention meeting, we talked with the election board. We're in concert with them doing our voting through electronic ballots. It's an ongoing process, and it's going to take us some time to get that process nailed down. So it's going to be important that we avoid any kind of improprieties in our voting and our amendments. We've received 167 amendments, and this evening we talked with the election board, and we went down into the auditorium, get a preview of what the videos are going to be like when we display the amendments against our current Constitution. We are in the process of getting that lined out with the sound system, working with communications to get all that process and the presentations done in a good and professional manner. Next Monday evening, October 20th, we're having another Constitutional Convention meeting. We're going to meet with the election officials and the contractor that's coming from Albuquerque. They'll be discussing our voting, our balloting, and the process that we want to use. And it is certainly open to the public. And we encourage the public to come and sit in those meetings and to preview what's going to be happening.
Stone Go OCO, I'm Gerald Wofford, and we are traveling Indian country this week. So many things happening out there in Indian country, and we certainly do our best to cover those. This past week we went over to Muskogee, where the annual Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame takes place in the Muskogee Convention Center. And this year one of the honorees is the Cherokee Youth Choir. Now this youth choir has been around for a few years. Mary Kay Henderson is the director there. And they have won some other awards around the country, but the first time having some acknowledgement here in the home state. And so they were honored with the Governor's Award there, like the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame. So we'll catch up with Ms. Henderson and talk about that. We also went over to Catoosa with the annual Cherokee Art Market, which is supposed to be the biggest art market west of Santa Fe and east of the Mississippi in this area that we have here. Chandler Goodstrike, who expertise is in buffalo hide art, we talked with him. All this on Traveling Indian Country.
My name is Chandler Goodstrike. I'm from the Fort Belknap Indian Reservation in Montana. I'm 72 years old, retired from Xerox Corporation. And after I retired in 1992, I still needed to do something for my grandchildren, so I started doing what I did practically all my life, but I gave what I made away, and I start going to markets. I paint on buffalo hides and elk hides, and I tried to stick mostly with the buffalo hide. I do my own rawhide. I'm getting too weak to do tanning. I make par fleshes, rawhide par fleshes out of buffalo. I use natural earth paint, and I make war bonnet cases, flat bags, hand drums, paint hand drums. This buffalo hide painting tells you how the Indians got they're buffalo without horses, without rifles. They had arrows, and they drove them off of cliffs. They used piles of rock, got behind them as the buffalo came. They scared them over this cliff with tanned buffalo hides. Down here, this is an everyday scene. Right here, you see two little boys and another little boy. These two guys pantsed the other little boy, and he's telling these guys carrying the meat. They're carrying the meat over to these ladies over here who are making dry meat. And this little girl is chasing a dog away, which had stolen a piece of meat from this drying rack. Over here we have Juneberries, drying Juneberries for winter. Over here we have choke cherry patties. They're like cookies, they're sweet. Sometimes they're mixed with the dry meat to make pemmican, or the Sioux call it wasna. Over here is an everyday thing, especially before and after people go hunting, they pray. They use the buffalo skull for an altar. Right here, two ladies are tanning a hide. And down here, they're more or less cutting up meat, say to boil or for lunch. They work together. It's a all family process. Over here, this woman's scraping a buffalo hide, defleshing it. And what do you think this guy's doing? He's sizing up this lady that's scraping the hide while she's bending over. But this is an everyday thing. And I told a guy once about this guy over here. He said, "Oh, they didn't do that." I said, "How did we get here today?" You know. I do go to markets, say Santa Fe. I used to go to Dallas. I go to Indianapolis. Some of the bigger markets. And this here is a flat bag. This is some of the rawhide. I look at pictures, what was here 200 and 300 years ago, and I never copy. My grandma made parfleshes, and they never did copy one another. This is a typical, I saw in 1942, one of my uncles was dying from malaria, and my grandpa told this old man, his name was Skinner. He wanted to make a drum for my uncle. It might help him regain a good life again. And I saw him make this knot back here. It's called the sacred knot. And I make it out of buffalo. That one he made was out of deer. And this is a 20-inch hand drum, which I think has the best sound, most beautiful deep sound. It resonates and vibrates. We got feathers on top, of course, which means you had to earn feathers when you were young and to wear a war bonnet or even have a feather. And these are lightning. Lightning makes you humble and respect things. And you could see the two horns on the saddle, which was an Indian-made saddle, which the cavalry copied their McClellan saddles after the Indian saddles. And down on the bottom you have, we call them stars, or like the North Star or something like it. Anything, stars, anyway. And then here's the horse tracks. This is indicating the horse is moving or came from, it's going someplace. And the one I call this drum takes the lead, because he's leading something in the back. So there's more band, but he takes the lead in wherever they're moving to.
Hello, my name is Mary Kay Henderson, and I'm the director of the Cherokee National Youth Choir. And those are these lovely young people here behind me. And we are 40 strong from 14 counties in the Cherokee Nation. We're here at the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame, where this choir is receiving the Governor's Award. It's an award that's not given out every year. It's given out. It's been given out 3 times since the beginning of the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame, because we're not newcomers and we're not songwriters. and we haven't been in the business for over 10 years. So they wanted to award the choir the Governor's Award. This has been quite a month for the Cherokee National Youth Choir. This is our third award in as many weeks. The first was a Indian Summer Music Award that was given out in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Indian Summer Music Festival for Best Gospel CD, which is for our CD, Precious Memories. And then 3 nights ago, we were in Niagara Falls, New York at the Native American Music Awards, where we won the Best Gospel and Inspirational CD for our CD, Precious Memories. And then tonight. So this has been quite a month. Oh, most definitely.
And that wraps up another program here on the Native News Today. Many Meadows for all those that joined us this week to make this program such a stellar one and one of remembrance. We want to thank the people there, Sean Partridge, people at Children and Family Services, and those specifically that are helping educate the public about the Family Domestic Violence Month and help that we can certainly make this problem go away. And Deborah Isham there with the Health Administration with the Creek Nation Okmulgee, and talking about breast awareness and education, and certainly that's another problem we hope totally goes away as well. Creek Nation continuing on with their process with the Constitutional Committee meeting, and hopefully that by this time next year we'll have some new laws and unique things, and our sovereignty will be even more practiced and here at the Muskogee Creek Nation. And to Mary Kay Henderson and the Meadows and Widows for joining us here, and their congratulations for being inducted into the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame. Mr. Chandler Goodstrike and his unique artwork there, Buffalo Hide. Jason, just a lot of good stories this week, and we really appreciate the public out there and encouraging us and helping us know those stories out there.
Yeah, and I was going to say note on that must have been cool being able to go over to the museum, the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame, and listen to the Cherokee Youth Choir, and they were inducted with some pretty big names over there, so that must have been a good time.
Yeah, it was really unique. This Music Hall of Fame continues to grow each year, and new and unique artists, not just mainly from country music, because we know that's Oklahoma's really known for, but so many other facets of Oklahoma music are out there. And you and I, and especially I know this guy because he is a drummer and everything. He knows how unique Oklahoma music is.
Yes, absolutely, Gerald. It's just another rich part of our culture, and we bring it to you every week here on Native News Today. And that'll wrap us up for this week for Gerald and myself. We'll see you guys next Saturday. Latin player thing.
Happy hands.
No, not happy.